My name is Sam Phung.
Hello, my name is Nathan Ho, and today we're presenting the mobile app challenge for FBLA.
So when we first started developing the app, we decided to choose 3 steps to follow. First one was designing the app, next was coding the app, and finally publishing the app. So when we first started designing the app, we decided to use the online design tool called Figma. Figma allowed us to design each tab for the app, and furthermore, it allowed us to use simulated functions to prototype the app. And so for the coding the app, we decided to use Xcode because it allowed us to code iOS-based apps.
In order for us to store basic user data, we used a product of Google called Firebase. Firebase gives us a free database to use on their own servers and an authentication system that we could use for logging in users. This is a screenshot of Firebase. This shows our database collections. As you can see, users, it shows the username, if they were an officer, and their unique user ID. In order for us to publish this app, we had to make sure the code was refined, meaning it was error-free and it would run without any issue. Furthermore, we had to make sure the user interface was very easy and pleasant to use. We did not want to create an app that was very complicated and would affect using the app for certain functions. We had to make sure the user interface was visually appealing and improved to help use the app.
And here's our app icon for FBLA Plus. Upon entering the app, the user will encounter the login screen where returning users will be able to log in, or new users will be able to sign up using their email and newly created password. Upon entering the app, the user will first see the join page, in which they will see any upcoming meetings or events, and also any new users will be able to join the local FBLA chapter via a form on the join page.
This is the attendance tab. This shows any upcoming meetings, as you can see by the date. There's also a plus attendance button that FBLA officers can use to take attendance for everyone who has attended a certain meeting. There's a button on each date, so you can set the attendance for each separate meeting, which will also send the data straight to our database. This is our events calendar. This was utilized using sample code online by the component called JT Apple Calendar. Here we were able to store future and current events that are taking place for FBLA. As you can see, it'll display the event location, the event name, and the event time. Officers could also add events and add the event locations and the times and set things on the calendar for every other user to see.
Here are resources. Each tab will either take you to the national or local FBLA website, along with displaying forms for the local chapter. Here's our About page. It tells you a little bit about FBLA and also the local chapter team. Furthermore, at the bottom, you'll see social media links. So for these social media links, the user will be able to click on these links and it'll take them directly to any FBLA social media.
Now that the presentation's over, we can give you a full demo of the app. So first is our Firebase product. Here is the authentication tab. The authentication tab shows us user data. So here is displayed the user email. The email service also shows the date when the user was created and when they signed in. It also displays their unique user ID. Here on our database shows several collections of data. We made sure to store data in a very uniform selection, so there would be no miscommunication or any misinformation. Here's our attendance collection showing the amount of people and who attended certain meetings, as here, March 7th. This is our meetings collection showing all upcoming meetings that are displayed. This is our events tab. This is all event names and event that are displayed on the calendar. This is also our users, showing if they were an officer or not, their username, their first name, last name, and also shows their password. In case they forgot a password, we could also we could also help them access their account back. Now for the app, here's our app. This is the homepage. As discussed by Sam, this is our welcome tab, our about tab, and the resources tab. Here is our calendar events tab. As you can see, there's a refresh button at the top in case when a user comes onto the calendar. Since there's so many events and data going into the calendar at one time, the calendar may not display the current events at that time. So a user can simply click the refresh button, which will refresh the calendar and show any events that were not displayed earlier. As you can see by the blue dots, this indicates that there's an event going on. When clicked on that, it'll show the event name and the location and the time. As you can see at the top, here's our add event, where an officer can add events. Now, an officer first has to click a date. In our case, we're going to choose May 19th. We're going to click add event. We're going to select the event name and event location and event time, just 5 p.m. for this case. So we hit submit and hit refresh to refresh the calendar. And here the event pops up as indicated by the blue dot. If we click on it, we can see the event name, event location, event time. If we take a look at our database, it'll repopulate our database showing the implemented data that the officer has chosen. And that's about it for our app demo.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.